Hello everybody, today we will discuss about how to execute or how to run multiple response variable at once using our software. This is the question that are raised by one of my followers, so I will try to answer the question. So the first, in this case, we'll see on the CRD design or in the completely randomized design analysis. So the model here is the treatment and the error is explained by a response or dependent variable. So the following package are required in order to run this condition, and in order to minimize or to save our time, I already imported my data. My data name is due, is contain 45 entries with 6 total column, and the treatment is variety of step, and we have replication and with 4 response or dependent variable. So the first one is we have to check our structure. So if our structure is not a factor, you have to convert using the following syntax. Either the first one or second one, both will yield the same result. So let's check our data. So the treatment is already a factor, so no need to convert into a factor. But in case if it's numeric, you have to use this syntax. Then we will list then the traits that we want to analyze. Here is the days to maturity planted, and here is the different name, maybe the harvest index or any other things. And here is GY, which stands for the grain yield. So you have to indicate in this way the trait. Then you have to create a vector, the MA, PLH, and you can list your number of response variable in this way. Then we can go for the result of analysis variance. Again, we have to create a vector, mode which equals to list, and the length which equals to the number of our traits 1, 2, 3, 4. So indicate the traits here in the parentheses. So again, okay, let's type this one. Yeah, again, let's type this one. So the name of for the result analysis of variance will be the trait. That means the DMA, the PLH, the HLW, and the grain yield. So, and again, you have to indicate in this way. And we will also go for the mean separation. So in similar fashion with the result of analysis variance, mode which equals to the list and the length which equals to the number of our trait. If your trait is 6, so by default, or you can assign in this way trait. So type this and run to our studio. And again, in similar fashion for the result, also the name will be the traits. So type this and submit to our studio. Then after the least significance difference, their statics using the matrix function, we can assign to the number of row, which is equal to the number of trait, or length means indicates the number of our traits. So 1, 2, 3 for our traits. So type this and the number of column that you want. For example, the least significance or the stats is the mean square error for the degree of freedom, meaning of the varieties, coefficient of variation, t-value, and the least significance difference. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have to assign here 6. In case if you want, for instance, only LCD value, so you have to assign here is 1. In case if you want T value as well as LCD and CV value, you have to assign 3. Because we assign the number of column 6 because the statics is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So assign this again. I know it is somehow cumbersome. So, and again, the column names will be the mean square, degree of freedom, mean of the variety, coefficient of variation, t-value, and the LCD value. So type this and submit to our studio. And the row names for the LCD stats will be the trait. The trait means the plantage, the grain yield, the harvest index, and the days to maturity. So type this and submit to our studio. Then after here, the main point here is you have to use the system time function for the parentheses, you have to indicate trait in traits and use this bracket. Then again, you have to use this all syntax. And let's say here is the model, or you can change the name that you want. So m.f, and here is the linear model. LM stands for linear model, and start with this quotation and get our trait. So this trait is decomposed into uh, 4 parts. The first one is the plant trait, the grain yield, the days to maturity, and any extra things. So on the basis of your preference, if you assign to 6 or to 7 to 8, so your data will be to that. So here is the treatment, and it's explained by treatment, and you have to indicate your data is equal to GU. So type before typing, let's go. And again, the result of analysis variance is a trait, and ANOVA. MF is what we created. The ANOVA MF stands for the linear model up to this one. And again, the LS value with the least significance, so the LSD dot test, the Y is a model MF, and the treatment is equal to TRT. So which helps us to compute the mean separation. And the LSS, you can give any name that you want here, but LSS means that contain the static. The LS1 is will contain the groups A, B, C, D, etc. And again, the group will be on the base of the LS1 or the groups what we created here. And also the LS1 value is the data frame, the group, and the LS value what we did here. Then finally we will arrange the group on the basis of their maybe the letter alphabetically. Then finally we will close this syntax by typing up to this. Yeah, don't bother with these things, and this is a warning message. So let's see our summary. So type this and submit to our studio. Yeah, let's maximize it. So this is our summary, and let's see the analysis of variance. Yeah, so for the grain yield is highly significant, and again for this parameter is not significant. And if you go upper, for the plant trait is significant, and lastly for the DMA it's not statistically significant. So if our test is our ANOVA is significant, we have to go to the mean separation, especially for the 2 parameter. But let's see for the all. So type this and submit to our studio to get mean separation. Yeah, this is the result. So if this thing is going to happen, it's not an error. So what will happen? So this is all about the mean separation. So this is all about today's tutorial. And if you have any question regarding to my tutorial, you can address me through my email workjiratasfan@gmail.com. I will put my email address in the description box, as well as YouTube comment box. Don't forget to subscribe, to like and share if you find my tutorial is helpful. Thank you.